What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol ROKU for Roku Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will be the first time we've covered it on the channel in quite some time, and obviously with the catalyst on today's session, it just makes sense to start with a quick daily roadmap, just pointing out the most obvious areas of support and resistance. Then we'll talk more nuance as we drill down to the 30-minute intraday time frame. Obviously, big catalyst on today's session. If I pop open the live news tab, it's all about the YouTube TV app and the restoration of that on the Roku TVs. So let's pop that back down. That's a little bit too fundamental for our liking. We want to focus on the price action at hand here and where there are potential inflection points in the chart to get involved, right? So these are the main areas I would start focusing on here. We have a very choppy chart, I would add. So if I just actually expand this on the daily side, what you'll note is that we have a gap overhead. We obviously have a gap underneath us from today's session, and there's even a little gap in between Monday and Tuesday here. I'm not going to mark it off, but just keep it in mind if the move does unfold lower. Now, I don't think that that's likely given the nature of today's candle structure, obviously full green body, punctuated by really solid volume as well. So we are looking for momentum style continuation, but we have this gap to contend with overhead, right? So that's 264 to 269, we'll call it, just for round numbers sake. Call it 270 even if you'd like. If we get into that and we start printing things that look like this, so inverted hammers or indecision dojis, that's actually a poor inverted hammer there, but you get the gist, right? Things that would make you question the strength of the buyers here, because ultimately we are in a fairly aggressive downtrend on the daily, then it would make sense to me that that could potentially be a short point. We can also do something like this with a resistance trend line, and what you'll notice is that would kind of coincide perfectly with that area. So for me, sure, we are looking for momentum continuation, but we're coming into a very important area of resistance. I would really watch and wait to see how that resolves itself before getting overly bullish. So for me, what that would mean would be like, do we get daily candle closes above? I'm just drawing on the 30 since this is so compressed, but do we get daily candle closes above? Do we get 1 hour candle closes above, 30-minute candle closes above? And if so, what's the structure start looking like? Is it bullish? Are we getting healthy consolidation, higher lows for like an ascending triangle? Is it setting up a breakout, something of that nature? That's how I would want to get involved up and over this area of resistance from the daily time frame. And again, based on volume, looks like it could potentially unfold that way. But again, I would need the confirmation given the amount of resistance we're seeing there from the daily. Before we move along, I will, of course, send you on your way in just a second, but I want to look through the lens of Fibonacci at the 30-minute. What you'll notice is the high and tight consolidation into the close here never even got close to the 38.2. So that, of course, checks out for a sign of strength for the buyers, okay? So again, it does make sense that we're looking for upside. I guess you could use this 38.2 as a healthy consolidation zone. So we'll throw that on here, and we'll remove the fibs. There we go. So in an ideal world, picture perfect does something like this, breaks out up and over and into that daily resistance trend line. From there, reevaluate for all of those things I just discussed. If we take out 250 to the downside, which is the 38.2 fib on today's range, that's where you start to be a little bit more cautious, noting we could get a bit of retracement, and obviously there's that big gap underneath us to fill on the daily time frame. Again, I'm not saying that's a likely scenario. I've already pointed out that I do think it is up based on volume as well as daily structure. I'm just covering all of the bases here and the potential scenarios that could unfold. That's all stemming from a breakdown of 250. So if you enjoyed today's video, if you learned something new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.